Last week I uploaded a video showing you the SellerApp keyword research tool, which is a completely free piece of keyword research software. So in this video today, I'm going to give you a full tutorial of exactly how you can use that software for your KDP keyword research, going through step by step exactly how I would use it so you can optimize your keyword research and make as much money as possible through Amazon KDP. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now this is going to be a slightly longer video than you're probably used to seeing on this channel, just because it's going to be a full tutorial, but there's going to be so much value as I go through it. So I want to just keep everything in there so it's really full of value for you. So hopefully if you can watch the entire thing, you'll gain a load of insights into exactly how to use this app and also pick up on some really important things that I'm going to mention about the whole keyword process as I go through. So I definitely would recommend watching the whole thing rather than just skipping through, because I'm going to be dropping a lot of information about keywords as we make our way through. But for the example of this book, of this research, we're going to be going and pretending I've made a dog coloring book, and I want to do some keyword research for this. So again, obviously we're going to be using the SellerApp reverse ASIN. Again, like I say, I have got the paid version at the moment because you get a 7-day free trial. So I haven't actually paid a single penny, but I'm just going to use the free trial for 7 days. And again, if you do want to just make another account, you can then get another free trial. So this software can be pretty much completely free to use, but I would advise, if you're doing your keyword research, get the free trial and then do as much keyword research for as many books as you possibly can. Just get it all done in one batch, and then you don't have to worry about kind of recurring subscriptions and things like that. So that's my first piece of advice. But let's pretend we're going to be making a dog coloring book and doing some keyword research for that. So we're going to be using the reverse ASIN search as we usually do. So again, what I'm going to be looking for, this is going to be a dog coloring book. It's going to be mainly for adults, so we're not going to be doing one for kids. So the main thing, the first thing you need to do with your keyword research is to find as many relevant books that are performing really well. So again, if it was a dog coloring book for kids, it's not going to be relevant to what we're doing because we're specifically targeting adults. So something like this, World of Dog adult coloring book, 11,000 BSR. So there's obviously two metrics. Is it related to the book you're making, and is it selling well? So selling well basically means a BSR, I would say under kind of 50,000 for the UK. So this one has a BSR of 11,896. So we're going to go ahead and copy this one. And then we're just going to drop it into this reverse ASIN and press search here. And let us do its thing while we go through and find some more dogs. So this one here looks like a bit more advanced. So this is for ages 8 to 12. I'm pretty surprised at that because of the standard of the coloring, but we'll just assume it's 8 to 12, so we'll go with that. We've also got 150 dog breeds, 51,000, so we're going to go ahead with this one and use this as an ASIN too. So once we've done this and loaded in our first ASIN, just press this compare button, and then we can add an extra 3 ASINs if we want to. So we're going to put this one in, go back through and see what else we have. Lovable dogs, this looks about right. So around 50,000 BSR, like I say, is going to be okay. We're going to put this one in and see what else have we got here. Cute dogs, that's for kids. Dog coloring book, that's 277,000. So it's important to only look at the ones that are performing well, because ultimately what we're doing here is we want to look at the keywords that are being used by these really good books and basically just steal those keywords for our very own book. So what else have we got? Dogs and puppies coloring book. So not many good BSRs down here. Let's keep waiting. Amazing dogs. I'm pretty sure we've already used that one, have we? No, we haven't. Amazing dogs adult coloring book, 9,000. That's an absolute gem. We'll pick that up and we'll use that as our last keyword. So we'll put that in there and then just press compare. And what this is going to do is going to look at all of those ASINs and all of those books and then bring back all the keywords that they are ranking for. And we're going to basically sort through all of these in a really efficient manner now. So this is why I would recommend getting the paid version of SellerApp. Again, I want to reiterate it. You don't actually have to pay because you get a 7-day free trial, because you can use this export button. So that's one thing that's really good you can use. You can also basically filter by relevant score, search volume, or keywords, but we're generally just going to keep this as relevant as possible. So let's just go for search volume. Let's just say greater than, so we want at least 100 searches on one of these. So let's just try and filter as much of this information down as we possibly can. And that leaves us with 539 keywords, which is pretty useful for what we're going to be looking for. So let's get rid of this here. And then all we want to do now is just press export. Let me just get rid of this filter button. And before I actually press export, if you go through here, you can see all the keywords and then all of the ASINs here, which books basically rank for it. So this book is this keyword is in this listing. It's not in these two, but it is in this one. So these are all of the keywords that we want to be using, because these books have proven to be successful. We just want to make sure we're using their keywords. So that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing here. And obviously our marketplace is the UK because we're searching for on Amazon.co.uk up here. Just press export. What that's going to do is download an Excel sheet here as a CSV. So I'm going to go ahead and open that CSV and come back to you once I've done that. So as you see, we're now in this CSV folder, and you can see now we've got all of our keywords here. And what you want to do is just go through and just get rid of all the keywords that aren't relevant to the book. So for example, stress and anxiety relief, that's a really good keyword because that's related to the kind of book we're doing. A lot of adult coloring books are kind of centered and figured around this stress and anxiety relief kind of niche. So that's good. We're going for Grand Designs is not relevant. Rendale Designs is an anxiety relief dog. So again, it comes up again. Dora Designs, probably a pen name, so we're not too worried about that. Dog anxiety relief, insect waterfall, amazing gift card. Dog breeds book, again, relevant. Adult coloring book adult. Amazon gift various designs, great possibly throwdown. So these are all some really interesting keywords that we can look to use. Great possibly throwdown, that Christmas onesie, adult men. I'm not going to go through all of these because there are 500, but what I would recommend you do is go through all of these. And what you're going to be done, what's going to happen at the end of this, you're going to be left with loads of these individual keywords. And these are going to be your long tail keywords. So these are the ones you really want to be looking at. And essentially what you're going to want to do is once you've done that, just take one of these keywords and then go back into your search bar, go back onto Amazon, and then just take each specific keyword. So this first section, what we're doing here is focusing on our long tail keywords. So go back into Amazon and then just copy and paste that long tail keyword in. And the stress and anxiety relief, 578 results, which is actually quite interesting. If we just go under books and see what comes out if we're doing that. And essentially what we're doing here is just testing these long tail keywords and seeing what comes off the back of it when we search these in, because when there's a load of competition, it's probably a sign that there's a little bit too competitive as a keyword to use for. So stress and anxiety relief on its own as a long tail keyword is probably a little bit competitive at the moment because there's over 40,000 results. Generally, if a long tail keyword has less than 10,000 results, it's good. If it has less than 4,000, I would consider it to be a great keyword. So go through all of these keywords. It might take a little bit of time, but again, that's what you get when you're not necessarily paying for software. If you want to basically have all of this in one piece of paid software, you can use the Helium 10 piece of software. That is $99 a month, but it is an incredible piece of software, and I will go through a full tutorial on how to use that in an upcoming video. Like I say, you do have to pay a price at some point for not necessarily spending money on this software, and Helium 10 is exactly that answer. But for now, because it's free, you are going to have to do a little bit of work. So you go through and manually look at all of these ones and see the competition, and if the competition is low enough, then that's definitely a keyword I would use, because the search volume is going to be there, and obviously it's going to be related to dogs because we've already gone through and looked at 4 different ASINs where it's relevant, and we've also done our own due diligence and looked through and see if there are relevant keywords. So that's how I would go about finding my long tail keywords. And let's just say, for example, this was a good long tail keyword. What I would do in my keyword research, I have a Google sheet up here, and I'll just go for long tail here, and I'll go for short tail. And what I'm going to do, every single long tail keyword that matches all the right criteria, I'm going to put them in here and just build out a list of long tail keywords. So we just know everything that we can put in as options for our long tail keyword suggestions. Again, the way I would generally fill out my 7 keyword boxes is I would use my first 4 back-end keyword boxes for long tail keywords, and the remaining 3 for just bunch together loads of different short tail keywords. And obviously you've also got your long tail keywords in your title and subtitle. So that's how I would go through and format my short and long tail keywords in the back end of my book listing. So that's one way we can do it. The next way I'm going to suggest doing is using exactly the same method, getting 4 different books and using their keywords too. We're actually this time going to get rid of the filters, and what we're going to be doing here, we've got our long tail keywords, so now we're going to go on the hunt for our short tail keywords. We're going to actually get rid of this filter here. Let's just say search volume is greater than 1, because that's basically going to include everything that we need in there. So apologies for that, my SellerApp had a bit of a nightmare and it completely crashed, so we're back to where we want to be. This is just all the keywords for those ASINs that we previously searched for. As you can see, 1,328 keywords, which is really, really good because we're just specifically now hunting for some short tail keywords. And all we're going to want to do here is just, again, press this export button and download it as a CSV. Click into that, and what it's going to do is open that CSV file very similarly like we did with the long tail keywords, but how we use the data is going to be very, very different. So the only column we're actually interested in here is the keyword column. We're going to get rid of all of these. Just highlight them all at the top and then just press delete, and that's going to leave you with all the keywords. We're not necessarily worried about any of the metrics at all. And then we're also going to get rid of this title here. And that's going to leave us with all of the keywords we've got. So something like 1,300 in total, which is amazing. That's so much data for us to use. And just be mindful now, we're using the same data, but we're using it in a different way to extract short tail keywords to the way we would do if we we're trying to extract long tail keywords. Long tail keywords is all about finding specific phrases. Short tail keywords is just to find commonly occurring phrases within really successful books. So what we're going to be doing here is just taking all of these, all of this text, just copy all of this and then go back to your browser and then go to this website called browserling.com and basically count word frequency. If you just control paste everything into here, I keep saying control paste because I'm saying control C, control B, copy and paste everything into here. These are all of our keywords. Just press calculate word frequency, and what it's going to do is going to look at all of those keywords, and all of the most occurring keywords are going to be brought out by how often they appear. So book, coloring, unsurprisingly, are the two most common keywords, but that's really good for us to know. So we go ahead and copy, just press Control A and that will highlight everything, and then Control C to copy it, and then jump back into your Excel sheet, and then let's just create a new tab here, paste that in. And annoyingly, that's not going to actually do what we wanted to do. So we're going to have to basically just get through all of this manually. But you can see here all of the words that we're going to potentially be using. So any relevant keywords here, we're going to use for our short tail keywords. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of these. I'm actually going to open up Tangent Templates and show you the book listing. Just gives you a bit more of an explanation, a bit more context of what I'm doing. So I'll do that now and then carry on what I'm doing here in just a sec. So I'm back here in the Tangent setup here, and you can see I've just got my first 4 keyword boxes as the long tail keywords. Like I said, you fill the first 4 with long tail keywords and then the final 3 with short tail keywords. So these are the ones you would extract manually. Again, I haven't gone through because it would take hours in this video to do that. But that's what you're gonna have to do yourself when you go through and find your long tail keywords. But we're now concerned about these final 3 keyword boxes, and what we're actually going to do is we're gonna go back into our file here and go through all of these. Let me just see if you can actually take a shortcut from doing this on the site. Is it going to show you? It's not, so unfortunately we're going to have to go through and get rid of these numbers here. But basically what we're going to suggest doing is get rid of all the numbers in these and go through, and basically what you're going to do is copy all of these here as long as they're relevant. So book, coloring, designs is relevant for, again, for kids or whatever, good keyword to have. Anxiety, stress, adult, Christmas, relief, gift. These are all really good keywords that we're going to want to go ahead and put into our back-end keywords in our short boxes. So let's press this video here. So we got up to anxiety 155. So annoyingly, we're going to have to get rid of all these numbers yourself. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that here because you kind of understand the idea of what we do. And basically what this is basically doing is you're just picking up all the most commonly occurring keywords from books that you know are successful. So these keywords are all really good ones to have in terms of short tail keywords. And it's really annoying I have all these numbers here, but let's pretend the numbers weren't there and just be full of all these different words. And I would just spam the final 3 keyword boxes with all of these. Again, make sure they are relevant because sometimes they're not going to be relevant, and it is basically a violation of the terms and conditions if they're misleading keywords. If they're not that relevant but they're not misleading, you're generally going to be fine. But for example here, you wouldn't have something like unicorn activity book because that's just not relevant to what you're doing. Things like set is fine, great, dog. These are all really good things you can include. So we're going to copy all of these and then just put these in our final 3 keyword boxes. So if you remember the video that I published last week, going through the entire introductory guide to keywords, I talked about exactly how I would structure my keyword boxes. So like I say, long tails in the first 4 because they have really good ranking but slightly lower reach. And then shorter keywords in the final 3 keyword boxes because they again have a slightly lower ranking but a much broader niche, much broader reach. So I will leave a link to that video I'm talking about down in the description below, so you go ahead and watch that before you fill these out. But essentially what that's going to leave us now is with 4 really specific long tail keywords in our first 4 boxes, and then loads of short tail keywords that we know, backed by data, occur in loads of really good performing books that are very relevant to the same book that we had. So that's exactly how you can use the reverse ASIN feature for that. You can go one step further if you want to and go for the keyword research section here and then just type in dog coloring book. And what that's going to do again is going to show up loads of different keywords relating to this. So let's go for dog coloring books for adults, just press search. And again, make sure your marketplace is in the same one. And all you would do again is just export this data exactly like we did in the last one. And then we're going to add that to our word count frequency. So just going to copy this here. We're going to include the word keyword in there. It doesn't really make too much difference at this point. And then we're going to go through again get rid of this. So what you can do is you can basically do a list based on the keyword research section or the reverse ASIN section, or you can combine them both for even more data into your word frequency account. It's entirely up to you. If you want to go in a lot more detail, I would basically combine the two, and then you're going to get a much more reliable information with your data. But again, it's going to be relatively similar keywords that are coming out: books, for coloring, adults, adult, children. Again, if it's not for kids, don't put children in there. Book, pens, puzzle. So all of these really interesting keywords are going to be in there, and that's how you populate your short tail keyword in the back end. And your long tail keyword is basically decided by this strategy here, where you manually go through and find the keywords that we know are being searched for and see how much competition there are for those specific keywords. So that is a really good tutorial and in-depth understanding of exactly how you can use the free SellerApp piece of keyword research software. Like I say, if you do want to make this an even more streamlined, Helium 10 has an amazing array of tools that you can use in it, and basically makes this entire process completely seamless. So I will record a tutorial on exactly how to use that. For those of you who are slightly more advanced in KDP, I just want to save yourself a load of time with what is, in my opinion, the best piece of keyword research software. But in terms of free keyword research software, that's a way around it. It is going to be slightly more manual, but that's just kind of how you have to go through when you're not paying for your software. So I hope you did enjoy this video. If you do have any questions or comments on anything to do I covered in this video, and you'd like a bit more detail or a bit more understanding, then please do let me know, and I'll more than happily answer them down in the comments, or message me on Twitter. I can happily answer them over there too. But like I say, if you did enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe for more KDP content, and I will see you in the next one.